Haven't done this in a while, so I'm maybe a little rusty. Plus, I never really had a couple of videos on YouTube. No one really watched them. It doesn't really matter to me. You know, they tend to be, you know, Linux and tech and all that stuff. It really doesn't matter if people watch anyways. Because, you know, you're going to look up, you know, Ubuntu on YouTube, and you'll find reviews, and you'll find the graphical stuff, and all the desktop, and Ubuntu, and all that. And, you know, this is more like a blog anyways. This is not some, ooh, let me do some fancy editing and show you the desktop. Because you already know what the desktop looks like. You already know Windows 7, or Ubuntu, Unity, and of course, behind me, Linux Mint, Mate, Cinnamon. This is Cinnamon. So this is kind of my opinion on 3 distributions, because I decided since Debian 7 was recently released, and Ubuntu was recently released, and I was using the previous version of Mint, that I would review all of the 3 new versions of the Mint, because, well, I mean, distributions, because they all settle around, because it's all based on Debian, and Ubuntu 6-month thing, and all that stuff. So, okay, I started off, you know, I used Debian in VirtualBox, and of course, Backtrack. And, you know, it was like, okay, this, okay, they're using an old version of the kernel, they're using the old stuff, or whatever, GNOME 2, which everybody loves, compared to GNOME 3, or whatever you want to pronounce it. It doesn't matter to me. Back in the day, I remember being told it was pronounced GNU, GNU in desktop environment, and GNOME, you gotta stress the G, right? You know, basically, I was happy with Debian 7. In fact, you know, and you can go back to the classic GNOME 2 look. No problem with there. Can't fix what doesn't need to be fixed, right? And that kind of, you know, it's like, well, I want GNOME to move forward. I want that desktop to move forward and look like a modern, well, yeah, and then the GNOME Shell came out, and everybody got pissed off. Oh, no, they ruined it, and, you know, I probably felt the same way, but then I got used to it. Using GNOME 3, or GNOME Shell, whatever the hell, GNOME, whatever, I got used to it. You know, I got used to it. Unlike Unity, which I did not get used to. And the package you're using, and I guess the thing about Debian, with just like the long-term, short-term releases, whatever, of Ubuntu, you know, hey, okay, I can get used to this. The desktop model, the little move the corner in, and you can switch virtual desktops and all that. But I will say, one of my criticisms from Unity was the lack of customability. You know, the whole thing of, hey, this is where the dock, or whatever they're calling it, because it looks like a Mac dock, a really bad version of Mac OS X's dock, you can't move it, you can't customize it, and the only thing you can do is change the background. And, you know, I said a long time ago on a YouTube comment, basically, hey, look, you can customize it, it's Linux, right? And they're like, well, you can't do it to Unity, but isn't Unity open source? Do they provide the code for it? Anyways, my criticisms of Ubuntu a lot of people's criticisms is valid, and, you know, you can always switch to KD, and, you know, boy, you know, it was like 4 or 5 years ago when I got my regular standard def little tape. And it was like, damn, man, I criticized KD when it first came out, version 1.0, and fuck, man, all the little fanboys came out and put the comments, you're nothing but a fat boy, you do, and it's like, I didn't feel like it was fully baked when it first came out. There was a big difference between 4.1 and 4.0, and there was a big difference now as well when it first came out. I didn't think it was ready. I think that, you know, and I don't like the KD's menu, start menu, or whatever you call it. I think it used to be called the kicker? Whatever. Anyways, that's 1 point. That's 1 and 2 and whatever. And, you know, and it's probably, I'm saying and too much. I'm sorry, it's just I don't want to make this too long and take up your time, but Unity. Unity. Okay, Chronicle, we get that you gotta make money off of this. I get it. Yes, it's, about freedom and free and not as in free beer. I know you're like Red Hat or whatever and you want to make money off of it, but oh shit, how shocking it was to sit there and type in something and there being a search built in to one company. I don't know, it felt icky, it felt, you built this into my OS, or at least the front end. I know, don't even get into the whole, Linux is the kernel, not the OS. I mean, in the operating system level, or the technical level of, hey, I go to Microsoft Windows and I type in search. And if I type in Linux, it goes to Amazon search. Well, that's what Unity is. It doesn't have it in Windows, but think about it, Microsoft did that. They teamed up with Amazon, and you type in Linux, and all you get is books to buy. You type in a famous singer or celebrity, and what do you get? The movies of that guy, or the DVDs so you can buy, and it's like, whoa, this is kind of creepy. And I didn't realize it until I clicked on the settings, privacy settings, and it was like, oh shit, it says it keeps track of my instant messages. It keeps track of everything. And it freaked me the fuck out, because this is Linux. I expect Microsoft to do something like that. I even expect Apple to do something like that. And, as much as I use Google, I expect, because Google knows everything on every fucking search I've ever done, I expect Google to do that. But I don't expect is someone that is distributing a Linux free product and wants to make money. And it's like, hey, if you're going to have built-in web search, try to team up with Google, or try to team up with more than just one, eBay, whatever. Built into it, and just Amazon kind of feels like the old days of Microsoft in the 90s when they dominated stuff. And if you picture Ubuntu on every computer, what company has the search, a monopoly built into the OS if Linux ever Ubuntu became the standard of this type model? Which one? Amazon, right? And it's freaky. Now, let's get off Ubuntu. I'm done with that. Tried it, freaked out. I can't do that.